And we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. If you're new here or haven't already, please consider subscribing. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up as you're listening today. It really does help out the channel so much. Also, if you haven't joined our Facebook group yet, what are you waiting for? It's called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. It is a really great group of resellers from the community, full of very positive. Whoops, amateur mistake there. Forgot to mute my YouTube. Full of really great people. So join us over there and let's riff for a minute while we wait for some folks to come in. Hey, Dawn, didn't I just see you? I feel like I just saw you. I just saw you somewhere. I got a lot I want to talk about today. I have a whole big list here on a notepad that I typed up. So once I get going today, I'm going to go. I'm going to try to get through all of this information in an hour that I want to impart my wisdom on to you guys. If you have questions, you can leave them in the chat as we're going, and I will stop periodically to look at the comments and answer folks and address things. And I guess I should put my eyeballs on so I can see. Oh, look at that. I can see. So, hi, welcome in Swimmerization and Della, watching while hubby's driving. So, at the end, I'm giving away a month free of List Perfectly. If you're new or have never used List Perfectly, you can try it out free for 1 month. If you're already a user, you just get a break from your bill for 30 days. So, anyone can win it. I see about 18 people in here now and more coming in as we go. Hey, Liz. So, you know what? Let's just get started on the topic at hand. If you miss any part of the show, you can always watch the replay later. If you are watching the replay, thanks for coming in. Tammy's here. Welcome in, Tammy. All right. So, when your sales are slow or you need to increase your sales, the answer is not lower your prices. Surprising and shocking, I know. Everyone always thinks that the solution is, hey, Tammy and Mandy, the solution is to lower your prices. Well, I'm not making any sales. Nobody has any money, so I should lower my prices. And that's wrong. Now, typically, I tell you guys around here that everyone has their own way of doing things, and you have to figure out what works for you and your business. And things are going to be a little bit different for different people. For instance, the big debate over delisting and relisting was really talked about in the List Perfectly live show today. And I respectfully disagree with all of them. I do believe in delisting and relisting, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on topic here. But at the end of the day, if it works for my business, I'm going to keep doing it. If it doesn't, then I'm going to stop. But racing to the bottom and lowering your prices is one area where I'm going to tell you it's never right. I don't give a shit if it works for you. I really don't care. To be quite frank, hashtag tough love. Of course it works for you. When you lower your prices, the cheap people are going to come out and buy your stuff. Duh. But do you know what else it does? It trashes the market. It ruins entire brands. I have been very aggressive in the past few weeks about my, what is this, aversion? I don't know. I have been very aggressive recent videos and for a couple of weeks against the race to the bottom. And I told you guys it was going to get pretty tough around here as the videos went on. But I can't stand the mentality of, let me lower my prices. Listen, if they're raising the prices of everything else around us, that's called inflation. That means we can raise our prices too, folks. Doesn't mean to lower them. I got to pay $10 for a dozen eggs. I got to sell some stuff, and I got to sell it at prices that are going to help me to pay my fees, my shipping, my cost of goods, my bills, and still buy my $10 eggs because I like eggs and I want to be able to afford eggs. The reason I really get on the soapbox, though, is because we've been reselling. Keith has been doing it since 2015, 2016, and I was like marginally on the sidelines involved. And then I got involved in 17 when I got injured. I have seen entire brands just, let me tell you. Okay, I used to sell some brands of jeans for $60, $70 a pair. Now I can barely get 30. Because of that mentality of my sales are slow, I'm going to lower my prices. I want to sell mine faster than the next person. But if everybody has that mentality, that's what creates that race to the bottom. If you play video games, I could point to the old ways of the auction house on World of Warcraft, and you'd understand what I'm talking about completely. But let's say that Tammy says thanks for the laugh, so we're going to use her. Tammy is smart, and Tammy knows what she's doing. So Tammy lists her silver jeans for $40 because that's what they're worth. She knows in a pinch she can take a best offer or run a sale, but she's still listing them at the value of that brand. But I come in and I'm a turd, and I want mine to sell faster than Tammy's. So I list mine for $35. And then Leslie comes in and she's new and she's never sold silver jeans before. So she comps them and she sees mine for $35 and wants to sell hers faster. So she lists hers for $30. And then the other Tammy comes in and she's a big turd. I can say that about you because you're my friend. She's a big turd. And she's like, well, I'm going to list mine for $25. So mine will sell first. And then Dawn really wants some avocado from Walmart. He knows why I'm picking on him about that. And he needs money now. So he's going to list his silver jeans at $20, right? And then all the new people, dozens of them that come in after that, they're going to see Dawn's silver jeans for $20. They're new. They don't know better. They probably don't even really know how to comp. All of a sudden, everybody and their brother is now listing silver jeans for $20. And that is how it happens. So the answer to sell your things faster or sell more or my sales are slow is never, ever, ever to lower the price. I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill. You do not lower your prices. And I'm very serious, but I just keep laughing because you guys in the comments are fantastically amusing me. But since 2017, I have seen Bugatti Uomo. Can't say it correctly, but I know I used to get $70, $60 for their button fronts. I sell them for $12 to $15 now because that's what happened. I mean, there's a difference between racing to the bottom and, okay, yeah, everybody already screwed a market over. I can't list something for 60 that is clearly been trashed already. So it better be 40, 45 if it's men's. I was always out of gold on World of Warcraft. Keith and I used to gold mine. It was fun. It is due to the race to the bottom. So now that I've gotten that out of my system and I did my fussing and my little tough love at you guys. Hey, Michelle, welcome in. So here's how you get more sales. I'm here for the soapbox. Well, good. Okay, so your sales are slow. Yeah, I snort when I laugh. Your snails are slow because snails are slow. Your sales are slow. You want to make more sales. You can run sales. What a concept. Look, I get really sarcastic about this topic because it really bothers me when people trash markets, but you can run sales. So you can put your silver jeans up for $40 because that's what they're worth and run a 50% off sale if it pleases your little heart. If you only want to make $20 and you want to not value your time and you don't want to value yourself as a reseller and value the fact that you used your car and the wear on your tires and the gas money and your time to go to the thrift store and dig through the racks and find the silver jeans, bring them home, wash them, measure them, photograph them, and list them. If all of that is not valuable to you, and you're willing to take less than what a brand is actually worth, run a sale. Seriously. Now, I'm not saying I don't run sales either. So I do. I value myself as a reseller. I value my time. So I list things at what they're worth. But I also understand that times are hard right now and the economy is kind of bad, but it will come out of it. So I run sales. I run 30% off or whatever to get things moving. But the economy it will come out of it. It will fix itself. It always does. I remember there was a bad economy in the 80s during Reagan, and then there was a bad economy in the 90s. And there's always been bad economies. And then we always somehow rally out of it. And then it happens again. It's a roller coaster. So when we come out of this on the other side, I want silver jeans to be able to be sold at $40 and $50 again. Even if they can't right now, if I have to take offers of $35 and $30 or run a 30% off sale and sell them for, $28 or $30, that's okay because that's a sale. And when buyers see sales, they expect it to be a sale of the actual price. Yeah, there's the perceived value too. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. I'm going to be doing next Friday, I'm going to be filming a couple videos on loss leaders and perceived value and getting more in depth into those topics. So again, I cannot stress to you enough that if the rest of the world is having inflation and raising their prices, that is not the time for us to lower our prices. You guys, we have bills to pay too. And I understand that people have less discretionary money and they're not shopping as much. But I'm going to be honest with you. Most people are stupid with their money. Let me repeat that. Most people are stupid with their money. Most people don't know how to budget. Most people don't spend right. Most people shop when they shouldn't and spend money they shouldn't. And it's tax time and people are going to get tax returns and they aren't going to do what they should with them. They're going to go shopping. Okay? People just do. And there's always the percentage of people who aren't affected by the economy anyway that will still shop. There are still folks out there buying expensive stuff because this just doesn't affect them. So while you should be running sales in the first place in your store, even during good times, you can always in good times, you can mark prices up and then bring them back down. Never been proven, but it is theorized that when you have a sale on in your store, you're getting preferential treatment in the searches. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into the algorithm, but allegedly that is one of them, right? You pay to promote your listings. You have good titles. You have good photos. But when you're running a sale, that also feeds into the algorithm to increase your visibility in the searches. Yes. And if you have your stuff priced too low and you're still accepting offers and you're still running sales, you're driving it lower and lower and lower. So I always tell folks, price it high and run a sale. Price it high and do offers. You can take whatever offer you want. I don't care. Just don't trash the market for everybody else. Yes. And another thing that Teresa likes to say is, you don't know if you don't ask. If you don't ask for $40 for your silver jeans, you can't get $40 for your silver jeans. But I'm going to tell everybody in this chat right now, all 46 of you that are watching, listen. I get $20 to $25 for American Eagle, Gap, Old Navy, Gloria Vanderbilt. And in some cases, the Faded Glory Walmart brand, the plus sizes, I can get $20 to $25 for, $30 even, used. So there is no excuse for you to be selling designer, luxury brands like Miss Me and Silver and True Religion that retail for $250 brand new at the mall for the same prices that I'm getting for a Walmart brand. You got to ask for it. You got to ask for it. Okay. Yes. Try raising your prices too. The folks that list perfectly always love to tell people, raise your price and see what happens. But sales allegedly get you a boost in searches. It does create an urgency in buyers. When buyers see a sale, they want to shop. I mean, we're all guilty of it. Listen, there's a shopping center here that has a Bath and Body Works, and I walk by it all the time, and I don't pay any mind to it. I know it's there. Around Mother's Day and my birthday in May every year, there's a sign out that says annual sale, buy 5, get 5 free, or whatever they do. I see that sign every May, and it sucks me in there, and I go in there and I spend money, and I buy all the stuff I don't need because I like sales, and so do our buyers. Run short sales, though. So don't have sales that are set up to end indefinitely from now. We start and stop sales every 2 to 3 days. That way they think the sale's going to end and they got to act now. If they see something on sale ending in a week from now, they're going to probably think I'll come back and buy it, and they never do. If the sale ends tomorrow or in an hour, they're going to act now. So keep the actual prices on the items and run your sales. Also, offers. Increase your visibility in searches. If you have best offers on, it's another thing that can help increase your visibility in searches. So you have sales on, you have offers on, but Star, now my items are too cheap. No, they're not. Let me pound my pen. No, they're not. You know why? Because you're pricing high. You guys probably know by now, I start way above what I want and run sales all the time anyway. So for instance, and I'm mostly talking about eBay here, guys. When I talk about increasing your visibility because you have your best offers on and you're running your sales, this is all eBay talk. Because there's really no way to set up sales in Citizen, you can, but the other platforms. So the sales and the offers do increase your searches. Now, the way I do my eBay pricing, I do price high, mid-high. I don't go like above everyone, but if I comp a new to me brand and I see that 2 pairs sold for $45 and the majority are selling for $35 to $40, I'll go $40. So let's say I wanted $20 for my American Eagle jeans. I'm going to price them on eBay at $24.99, and I'm going to run a 20% off sale. That brings them down to $19.99. Now I can run that 20% off sale around the clock, and buyers see that it's on sale. It's getting preferential treatment, but it's at the price I originally wanted, and I still have room for offers down to like 18. Then I can run deeper sales if it's an older item that I just want to get rid of or clearance out. You're always going to get lowball offers because there's always going to be turds. There's going to be turd sellers and there's going to be turd buyers. Turds exist in the world and they're always going to be here. What you need to learn to do with those is just counter them at 10% off, and that's it. Move on with your day. Don't let it bother you. Don't let your emotions into your business. Don't do any of that. Put your sales on. Put your offers on. You're getting preferential treatment in the searches. So if I get $21 offers a day, I don't care because that item is getting attention. And that's the other thing. When you get an offer on an item, don't ever decline them. Don't ever decline them. Because now you're not getting the extra boost. So you're getting a boost just by having your offers on. But when a buyer sends you an offer and you counter, that item in the algorithm is suddenly seen as more desirable, and it's going to get pushed up in the searches even more. And how many times have you countered an offer? The buyer has ghosted you at this point because they wanted it for $1, and you countered the $40 jeans at 36, right? And now they're ghosted. And so your offer's sitting there, but then they sell it full price. That's because your item now has offers going back and forth. It's more desirable. It's getting pushed up in the searches. And the next buyer that's interested can actually see that there's an open offer sitting there. And that creates that sense of urgency. The same sense of urgency a sale can ignite under the fires of the feet of the fires of the buyer. I can't even talk. I'm so excited. It creates that urgency, and they see, oh my gosh, there's an open offer. I better act now. I mean, how many times have any of you, I'm telling you to raise your hand like I can see you, raise your hand if you've had an offer and it sells for full price, because it creates an urgency and it creates activity. eBay's algorithm loves activity, loves it. Anytime you get an offer, I don't care if they offer you a 50-cent piece of poop on a $150 item. Emotions do not belong in business. So take your emotions and set them over here and just, well, I guess they don't really want it. Counter with 10% off. And there you go. It'll sell. I'm going to look at some comments before we go and talk about some stale items. Okay. I don't have a 12-hour delay. I start and stop mine within a half an hour of each other, and they're always back on. So I don't know. I don't know what to say to that because I've never experienced that. Like I'll have one end at 9 p.m. Wednesday night and another one start at 9:30. There may be like a little more overlap to where like all the items in the store aren't in there until 10 p.m. But I do like a half an hour, and now they recommend 2 hours in the back end. So you should probably not do that. You should not do what I do as I say. But I've never seen that big of a delay. Also, if there is like an extra hour delay or something, I'm sending out offers, so it's fine. Yes, so that's exactly what I do, Tammy. We have a sale that runs Sunday to Wednesday, Wednesday to Friday, and Friday to Sunday. 20% off, and then 25 on the weekends. Right now, we're doing 30% off 7 days a week because of the advice I gave you at the beginning of the show. Our sales were a little slow, so we are doing a 30% off sale to increase our sales. Once you start selling more, you're going to start selling more, if that makes sense, because an active store is a happy store. So a lot of things go into making it an active store for the algorithm to like you. That's daily activity, listing, sending out offers. And when you receive offers, that feeds into the activity. But when you start making more sales, the algorithm is like, oh, well, this store is active. It's making more sales. They have desirable items. Not that the algorithm really thinks this way, but that's kind of how it works. So the more you sell, the more you're going to sell. Because the more you sell, the more your store looks like it has desirable items to the algorithm, which is helping you out. Yep, exactly. You've got to run sales and do promotions and do offers, especially on eBay. Buyers expect that, especially on Poshmark and Mercari. They expect that. So you have to give yourself the wiggle room. If you really want $20 for a pair of jeans, don't start them at $20 because you're not going to have any kind of wiggle room. And this is perfect. You can always go down, but you can't go up. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yes, I like the terms turd and poop. They're like my two favorite words. Everybody's waving. Yeah, so it happens all the time, right? So yeah, don't ignore offers either. Never ignore them. Always counter with like 10% off. You don't even have to counter with your lowest. And if you counter at 10% off and they come back with something you still don't want, go back with the same offer again. They'll eventually get the point and they'll ghost. It's good for them to ghost you, but not for you to ghost them. So you need to always counter back so that you're getting all that activity on the item. But once they stop countering back to you, that's when that open offer is sitting there and another buyer will see it if they're interested in it and think, oh, somebody else is sitting on an offer. I got to buy it right now before they do. But you always, always, always want to counter. Never ignore. Even if you have to counter 5 times to the same buyer, the same amount of money, it's fine. They'll eventually get the point, or they'll go away, or they'll buy it. I do have a copy-paste message on my phone in a notepad saved that I'll just copy-paste if it's like the third time I've gone back. And it's very professional. It just says, thank you so much for your interest in this item. Unfortunately, we can't go as low as you'd like. This is our lowest, as we offer free shipping to our buyers, which we pay for. Boom. End of story. We have actually picked up really good since Q4 ended, which is weird, but we spent November through December really, really listing a lot, busting our asses. We have increased our sales to 30% off the last couple of weeks, and we're doing something on the back end with our stale items and clearance items, which I'm going to talk about in a second. So no, I just do 2% promoted across the board. I do it all, and that's why I price high. I run sales, I do offers, and I do 2% across the board promoted listings, and I price high, and I have room to do all of the things that you can do. It's about stacking your chances. If there's 10 things that you can do to increase your visibility, to increase your sales, to increase why a buyer would want to purchase from you, why wouldn't you want to be able to do all 10? Price high enough to be able to do them all. This is something I'm very passionate about. Can you tell I'm excited? So no, I don't send a message with each counter offer. Usually the first one I send back, I just do 10% off and counter. If they're insistently countering back low and I have to do 2 or 3 in a row at the same or just a little bit lower, then I send that canned response. What I intend to do eventually, and I've been saying this for years, I have a bunch of canned responses I have saved on my phone that are very professional, copy paste. Because another thing you can do to increase your chances, as I was just speaking of, they say if you answer every single message that you get on eBay, it counts for you. And if you don't answer all of your messages, it counts against you. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they say. So I answer all of our messages, but we don't really work on the weekends. So if I get a message asking for measurements on Saturday, I send this, thanks for your interest in this item. Our business doesn't operate on the weekends. We will answer your question Monday as soon as possible, the Hippo Hut team. That way I've answered the message to please the algorithm. They think I'm being active and interacting with my customers. The customer is aware of why they're being ignored for 2 days, and then I will get back to them on Monday. I have, thanks for your interest in this offer. We can't go as low as your offer, but we can meet you in the middle. I have really... I have pages full of, like, when people are insisting upon a partial return, I have canned responses for that. I blame everything on eBay. I always say, per eBay policy, we have to insist upon a return before we can refund any money. My point was, I've been saying for years, I want to get all my canned responses into like a little PDF booklet just to give out for free to you guys, because you're more than welcome to use them. I used to be a professional copywriter for a living, and I'm really good at wording stuff and writing stuff. So yes, you can increase your sales by improving your pictures with List Perfectly, because their picture thing is out of this world. In fact, would you like to see me do one? Because it's so amazing. Let me show you real quick. How come every time I want to share my screen, I forget how to share my screen? You would think that after years of doing this, I would know what I'm doing. All right, so let's go. I should be in the back end here. Yeah. Okay, so these are our pictures that we have banked that we're waiting to turn into listings. You see this picture here? Da-da, da-na-na-na-na-na. Oh, this is how we do our pictures too. So the last picture I take of my jeans is on the scale with its location number. So I can put all that in for the shipping weight and the SKU line right into my listing here on List Perfectly. And then that will transfer over to Poshmark and eBay. And then this is the measurements, which I will put right here. And then I delete these. I don't put them in the listings. All right, so you guys want to see? You can do it in bulk, and I usually get it started like that. and then come down and fill out the SKU line and the price. I think these were Massimo's. I start those at 20. So I'd put 20. It was W something for the SKU line and then the date. And I know they're going to be a flat rate envelope. My code for that in the SKU line for myself is PF because I used to do padded flats. Not doing them anymore. I do the other ones. Did you see the pictures though? Boom. Aren't those beautiful? You want to see me do one more because it's so pretty? I'll do one more. I love doing my pictures in List Perfectly. So I have the Pro plan and I take the pictures on my phone in the List Perfectly website. And I have gone off of where I was at. Hold on. And so I take these right on my phone in List Perfectly mobile. And I have my template set there already to women's jeans. I set the template up on List Perfectly. I set it as my default temp. And then I just take a bunch of pictures of jeans. And this is what the listing already looks like when I come in here. It already has all this stuff filled in for me from my SKU line. Has my zip code and everything, right? I'm just filling in a few things and then pushing it out to the other platforms. And then I'm removing the backgrounds. I mean, that is just amazing before and after. Amazing. All right, let me update this and then come back to you guys. So yes, I do fix every picture because as you just saw, I can select them in bulk and List Perfectly. And as it's doing that, I can fill in all the other stuff I need to fill in. So yes, I do fix them all. Yep, canned responses are the best. You know why? They sound professional. They sound business-like, and they allow you to keep your emotions out of your business. Take your emotions, put them over here. I can't say that to you guys enough. Take your emotions, put them over there. They don't belong in your business. And when you respond to people without having a template or a canned response or something that you can just copy and paste over and over again, sometimes your emotions can creep in. And we don't need to do that. If you need to vent, well, none of us are perfect. I always tell you to keep your emotions out of your business, but none of us are perfect. And sometimes I need to say something about somebody. Make sure you have friends in the reselling community and go tell them and say all the things to them that you want to say to that person, but use your canned responses. So yeah, I do need to get it together. I will probably work on that a little bit over the next few months. List Perfectly, I love it because you can do it in bulk. I love List Perfectly because you can take all your pictures in the template and then sit down, remove the backgrounds in bulk, create your listing, build your listing, and then you can push it out to as many platforms as you need to. And you can put in individual footers for every platform. So you can literally have your eBay description box say something different than your Poshmark. And you want that because on Poshmark, you may want your description box to say, bundle your items for an offer. And on your eBay description, you may want to say, we offer global shipping. It's just, I cannot. List Perfectly is amazing. And by the way, 30% off your first month with code flippinhippos, or upgrade to Pro and try it out for 30% off. So if you're using the lower subscriptions and you don't have the bulk or the photo room, you want to try out Pro. If you try out Pro, if you upgrade to Pro and use code flippinhippos when you upgrade, it gives you 30% off and you're paying the same as the business, which is the lower subscription, just to try it out. I am as excited about the background. Yes, maybe even more so. Dawn likes to say I'm List Perfectly's biggest cheerleader. Okay. Oh, there's more comments. You guys are talking today. I love it. Yes, they do use Photo Room. Oh my gosh. That is one of my pet peeves because it's like, and I think that sometimes even my canned response might come off rude because they'll ghost me. Like last night on Poshmark, somebody said, what is the waist measurement on these jeans? And I don't want the actual number from the tag. I want the actual measurement. Me. See, that's how I talk. I don't talk to my customers bad, but when I have something to say about them, I'm like, Keith, would you look at this message? This person doesn't know how to read. But they were implying, I guess maybe they did look, they were implying that because the size was 34 and I put that the waist was 34 inches, that I hadn't measured it. They were True Religion jeans, and I will tell you that a lot of the lower end bread and butter mall brands, the waist measurement will actually be different than the number on the tag. But a lot of your higher end luxury brands are going to be the same because they're better quality jeans. Anyway, I'm not going to tell the customer all that. So I just did my canned response of, the measurements are in the listing, ! But the waist measurement is 34 inches. I don't know if I come off snotty, maybe. So my photos are taken directly in List Perfectly. I don't upload. There's no extra work. So you open List Perfectly Mobile on your phone and you tell it you want to add a listing. And you have your template set already. So you see how it says jeans, women's size. That's my template. You can change it there if you'd like, but I just select the default, which is under your menu, listings, where it says view, edit, template. You're under listings. You would set your template there. Oops, I have messages. Sorry. So you set your template in there, and then when you go to your add a listing, it's going to already be in the template. You push the plus sign and you take your pictures. And then when you start taking pictures, push camera. Now this is an Android, but you just, take your picture. You guys get to see my hair tie, my Post-it note. You push OK. Next, you take another picture. And then you say OK. And you do that until you're all done. You're done. Save and new. And it goes to the next one. Then when you go to your computer, you're looking at what I just showed you in my catalog. Does that make sense? This has turned into a List Perfectly tutorial video. I love List Perfectly. You guys don't understand how easy it has made my job. You are absolutely welcome. I love to teach. How do I do different descriptions? Well, let me show you. I set them up so long ago that I may not be able to remember on the spot live, but if not, I'm pretty sure I have a video on it somewhere. That's Word Alert. Let me just, okay, I know I have a video on it. I will link the video for you. I set my descriptions up, 2020, 2021. So it's been a long time since I've used it, but I do have a playlist for List Perfectly. In case you guys are wondering what I'm doing right now, this is what I'm doing. I'm going through my playlist. It's the unique descriptions on every platform using List Perfectly. So I will open this up real quick and get the link and come back over here and put it right here. And there you go. Or we could watch it. How long is it? I'm long-winded. We probably don't want to watch it. So anyway, there you go. That's the link. That shows you how to do it. It's a setting in List Perfectly. Yeah, I don't like when they get all picky about cheap stuff. eBay's background removal is poop. Poop, poop, poop. Sleep on the comment before you reply. Yes. Or copy paste your canned stuff. And that's exactly what it looks like. F you. Hi. Thank you for your interest in this item. Yeah, please don't be resistant. Please don't be resistant. Keith was resistant for 2 years, okay? And he promised me that when we got back here, we were going to change our processes and he was going to learn. He is a very stubborn person. He doesn't like change. Most of us don't. But when we got back here to Pittsburgh and we're moving back more into a volume-based business because we can get 99-cent items, everybody applaud him actually because he changed his entire processes. He no longer takes his photos on the phone and lists on his phone. He does it exactly the way I do. He takes his pictures right and lists perfectly on the templates. He goes down to his laptop. He creates all of the listings in the catalog. He has a draft bank. He has a picture bank. He's completely come over to Star's way of doing things, and now he's like so much more productive, and it's so much easier. And I really wish he would have listened 2 years ago. And he's also learning women's jeans. Everybody give Keith a hand. I'm like, why don't you read the guide your partner wrote? And so he learned all about women's jeans from my jeans guide, and he's got my little price sheet, and he's doing jeans now. So it's really great. What a time saver. It is absolutely. I haven't even gotten to the rest of the show that I was going to talk about. No, you don't want to do that. You want to take them right on your phone and then go to the catalog. So you're struggling with how to do it on List Perfectly or what to say, because I'll help you either way. To cover. Yes. So, okay. Everybody and their brother is selling American Eagle. This is my best example because it's easy math too. Jem, let's say that everybody and their brother is selling American Eagle jeans, all in, shipping included, for $18 to $25, right? So I'm going to want the 25. I'm going to go on the high end. I'm going to put them on eBay for $31.24. And here's why. I put them in at $31.24. That's my price on eBay. I run a 20% off sale. They're now the $24.99 I originally wanted. I now have room to play. If I sell them on a 2% promoted listing and they take the extra 2%, if I want to do an offer down to 20, I'm still covered because the comps are actually 18 to 25. I hope that makes sense. Keith drank the Kool-Aid. He did. And I drank some Kool-Aid too because I said I would never, ever, I'm such a control freak. I would never let him do Plush or jeans. He's doing both now. So that could be the lighting in your room. I don't even use lighting. I'm going to tell you what. With the new background removal on List Perfectly, there was a day last summer that we lost power because it rains every day in Florida. This is when we were still living in Florida. We lost power. And so I just opened up the blinds in my office a little bit and had a little bit of sunlight coming in. And I took a bunch of pictures of jeans that day in like basic dark. You guys know those. I don't have one in here. I usually have one in every room. I have a little flashlight. But you guys know those little lantern flashlight thingies? I had that in there. A little bit of sunlight coming in. And I was taking jeans basically in the dark and uploading them like I just showed you guys. And when I removed the background, you couldn't even tell. So I don't know. Thank you. I do my best. Did you see the link? That will show you how to do it, Della. Okay, so back to my list of what I wanted to get to today. So you guys are going to have stale items that are going to drag you down. Items that if they've been sitting for, I mean, it really depends on your categories. Because an average sell-through rate for a plush is going to be different for jeans and different for antiques, right? So a plush that takes a year to sell is like the equivalent of 6 months for a piece of clothing. And that's normal for most clothing to take 6 months to sell. If you have ever purchased our clothing guide or our jeans guides and you've seen the sell-through rate page, most clothing falls at like 33 to 60%, which is 3 to 6 months to sell. That's normal. Plush, a little bit slower. Electronics, fast. Remotes, fast. Video games, fast. So it really depends on what you're selling. But when things have been sitting for a long time, remember when I was talking about how the algorithm can see your store as being active or not active, or having desirable items, or just stuff that's sitting and no one wants? So if your sales are slow and you have a bunch of stuff that's years old, none of your stuff looks desirable to the algorithm. So you're not getting any kind of boost in searches. You're not getting any kind of help with your sell-through rate or any of that, because that stuff can bog you down. So you need to get rid of it. I am in the camp that agrees with delisting and relisting, but not often. And I think a lot of the people that are in the camp that don't believe in it don't understand that clothing is a whole different beast. Clothing is its whole different beast. It's oversaturated. Everybody's selling it. Most of it has a slow sell-through rate. You're competing with thousands of other people. It's not like a unique piece of vintage clothing or furniture or car part. When you're selling American Eagle jeans, it's a different story. You do need to wait for the SEO and the algorithm to work for you, and you need to wait for Google to line up with eBay. It takes 30 days for that. So you don't want to be delisting and relisting items that are like 1 to 3 months old. That's stupid. Just leave it alone. Usually leave them until they're like 6 months old or 9 months old, and then you can kind of look at them. And then the thing with delisting and relisting on other platforms, let me touch on that very briefly. I'm going to do an actual unpopular reseller's opinion video on delisting next week. But with Mercari, every time you send out an offer on an item, it has to be 10% lower than the last offer. So it's not like Poshmark where you can send 10% off, and it only goes to folks who've not received it yet. Mercari, if Donovan likes it today and I send him a 10% offer on my avocado because he likes those, and then Mary comes in tomorrow and likes the same avocado, I have to give Mary a 10% lower offer than I gave Dawn. So if my avocado was $20 and I offered Dawn 18, I've now got to offer Mary 16, and it's historical. So if you're not delisting and relisting on Mercari, you're going to have to keep sending out lower and lower offers, which we don't want to do. So you have to almost delist and relist on platforms like Mercari to make them work for you. I also won't send out offers on Mercari until I have 2 or more likers on it, just to avoid that kind of race to the bottom thing. Grailed, if you're not bumping your items and constantly lowering prices, they push it down in the searches. So you have to constantly be ending and relisting. So there's a lot of reasons that I believe in it. But even on eBay, okay, things get stale. And when your sell-through rate is low and things are getting looked at but not selling, the algorithm is going to see you as having undesirable items that people don't want. So it's time to clear it out. And you have 2 choices. You can pull all the really old, and when I see really old, if you're a clothing reseller, you need to let it sit for a year, at least. I know that there are sellers out there who think that having a lot of listings or having a lot of items is not what you want to do. But I have friends who make a lot of money doing volume sales. We make a lot of money. You can make 6 figures a year. Believe me, you can make 6 figures a year on clothing, on volume sales, on having a lot of inventory. And it's really not that much more work. I've talked about this before too. If you niche down and you learn something like jeans, I can do so many jeans so quickly nowadays. I don't even have to comp them anymore because I've taken the 6 years to really learn them. I don't think it's any more work. It's what I can find. That's the other thing. If we just decided tomorrow, we're not going to do volume sales. We're not going to do bread and butter. We're not going to we're only going to source items that are worth $100 or more. Well, guess what? We're going to source 3 things a week. We're not going to pay our bills anymore. We're going to be homeless, and we're going to have to go get jobs and not be able to work from home. You have to source what you can find. Even the remotes, like we get really good deals on those. We have really good connections, but we still have to list a bunch of them. So anyway, what does this comment do? So we let our stuff sit. Yeah. I don't, it's a whole different topic, but that mentality of don't brag about having lots of sales or listings and I'm not in the business of storage, I'm in the business of selling. Great. Good for you. Good for you. I couldn't live off of being that picky. Volume-based sales are great. I have a lot of friends who make 6 figures and have like 13,000 listings and employees. I can name a lot of really big name YouTubers too that do. So it's not a bad model if it's what you want to do. I'm not saying it's the only way to go. If you absolutely live in an area where you can consistently find vintage items or items that are really expensive or worth a lot of money, and you can find enough of them to flip to support your lifestyle and pay your bills, great. We don't have that here. You know what we have here? We have abundance. And yes, I do get jeans for 99 cents. We have an abundance of really cheap clothing here, and that's what I can get, and that's what I've learned how to do. And we've got it down to a science. Our processes are in place, and that's what we do. But you got to let most clothing sit for a year before you give up on it. And then you have 2 choices. You can pull all the old stuff and donate it. You will see like a increase in your sales when you do that, because you're taking all that stuff out and all that stale stuff that's kind of dragging you down in the algorithm, and your sell-through rate, it's gone. So your sales are going to bounce up, but your overall listings are going to go down. So if you are a volume seller, be prepared for that your overall listings are going to go way down. And then you have to deal with tax time, because you can't double dip. If you've already claimed the cost of goods, you can't claim the write-off and all that. So that's not a way I want to go. When we moved to Florida, that was a way we did go. We pulled all the poop and we redonated it. And you'll get the initial boost in sales because you've pulled all that stale stuff out the back end. But now, let's say you drop from 2,500 to 1,500 listings. Now you've got 1,000 less listings. And if you're a volume seller, that can be the equivalency of like 5 sales a day. So the other option is to run really big sales and clearance and lower prices. What? Star, at the beginning of the video, you were yelling at us and telling us not to lower the prices. You can lower prices on poop. You can lower the prices on poop. You can sell poop shirts for $7 all day long, because there's really no market to trash, right? So what I do, or what I am currently in the process of doing, 2 things. I'm working on 2 big projects right now for our store. The first is we took all of our remote controls on all of our platforms that we have them on, which is just Amazon, Mercari, and eBay, and we ended them. So if you do look at our store, it is public, and you saw that it went down by like 400 or 500 listings. It's because I ended a bunch of remotes because they were older, and I feel like they were dragging us down. Also, mainly because I'm gonna admit this to you guys, they got all screwed up in the move. So we dumped a bunch of these. I got a bin here. We dumped a bunch of these in together when we moved to like have less bins for the movers to deal with. And we thought we wrote on all of these where they went. Anyway, needless to say, our remotes are all mixed up and they're in the wrong bins. And some of the ones that had multi-quantity, we screwed up and put the wrong locations, and we didn't take the extra quantities out of eBay, and oh God, it's a mess. So I just ended all of the remotes, and I'm bringing them up. Oh, but let me show you. Another reason I love List Perfectly. I ended all of our remotes on all of our platforms, correct? Yes, I did. But now to relist them, look at how easy it is. They're all sitting here. They're all sitting here and list perfectly still. They didn't go anywhere. They're not on eBay. They're not on Mercari. I ended those listings. They are all still here and list perfectly. They didn't go anywhere. They're still here. So as I pull them out of the bins one by one and type the model number in on the search engine and the search engine up here, like if I type in 0025A, oh, I don't want parameters because that slows it down. I want it to be quick. There it is. There's the listing, you guys. It's still there. All I have to do is edit it. Currently, I am relocating all of these to a bin 1. This is a code we don't need anymore. And I'm putting down here in the seller notes, updated January 23rd, making sure there's only a quantity of 1. And making sure my zip code is there or changed. Some of them still have the Florida zip code. And I'm updating it. And I can put this in bin 1, which is over here on my other side. And I see my note here. So I know this is one I can relist. Oh my gosh, you guys. When I tell you that List Perfectly is amazing, it is amazing. So I ended all the remotes, and all I have to do is type in the model number and List Perfectly off of each one, change the bin number on the SKU line, and put a little note that I updated it. Done. End of story. So yes, I did end all of our remotes, and I am putting them back in very slowly as I make sure that we still have them and putting them in the correct bins and moving them around. The other thing I'm doing is I'm going into List Perfectly, and I'm going into our stuff that hasn't been sold. And this takes a minute to load, so I'll talk while I do it. I'm sorting it in the back end here of when it was created, okay? So when I first started using List Perfectly to its full potential. Hey, remember when I was showing you the example of how to do a listing on List Perfectly and taking those pictures? There it is. It's right there. I just did that live with you guys, and there it is. So I started using it to its full potential in August of 2021. So there's a ton of stuff that got uploaded in when I first started using it. So you can see it there. So what I'm doing, I know I'm on page 2. So this is what you can do instead of pulling your stuff to redonate. You can lower the prices on some items. So I'm putting poop in the SKU line for our own knowledge here. You guys can see I literally do use the word poop all the time. So this is where I'm at. This is the last one I did. So what I'm doing is I know that these are my oldest listings. These have probably been around for 2 years, maybe. I want to get rid of them. But there's certain brands that I don't want to race to the bottom on, and I don't want to lower prices on. And that's why we're running the 30% off sales. We're running 30% off on eBay right now to get more sales, to get lower prices so people will be more inclined to buy while they're poor because eggs cost $10 a dozen. Something like Zara, I know I still want to start it at 30, so I'm going to leave that one alone even though it's older. But this Q by Cruel, what the heck is this poop brand? Why the heck did I ever buy this? I'm going to knock this down to about 12 bucks. What's going to happen is it's going to sell. It's going to ship in a priority envelope, and I'm going to make my dollar I paid for it back, and I'm going to make $1 profit. I'm only going to make $1 on these, but they're poop, and they're bad, and they're dragging us down, and I don't want them anymore. My option is to pull all of these, drop our listings drastically, redonate them, deal with the tax mess, blah, 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 or lower the prices on some of these things that I can. I won't touch the 7 for All Mankind. I'll leave those alone. I will touch them. I will update them. I will delist them. I will relist them. I will refresh them. I will change the title, all that good stuff. But as far as lowering prices, I'm only picking out questionable stuff. I'm going to leave all these really good brands here alone. But I'm just picking out stuff that's, you know, like this t-shirt here. Maybe it's really not worth 50. I'll drop it to 25. And then I'll put poop in the SKU line so I know where I'm at as I'm working. And I'm only doing like 5 or 10 a day. I'm not taking a lot of time with this. I'm doing 5 or 10 a day, and I'm doing like 20 to 40 remotes a day. And those are my 2 projects. Now, the reason I'm okay with selling it low enough to just break even or make $1 or $2 profit is because I prefer that over pulling it all and donating it. One, because that's just a hassle and a pain in it's a headache. But also because once it sells, your store gets more active. So if you can get all your poop items, don't touch your silver jeans. Don't knock those 50% off. Don't touch any of those good brands because that's participating in the race to the bottom. But if you have actual like generic brands, non-branded items, stuff like that, you can definitely knock those prices down by like 50%. I have some t-shirts right now in there for like $7. We're going to make our money back and that's it. But I don't have to deal with the headache of donating it. And when this stuff starts selling, because it has been, because of course all the cheapy people come out of the woodwork. Oh, $7 t-shirts, yay. They start buying it. We make our money back for what we paid for it. But now we're selling 5 to 10 of those cheapy items a day, which is giving us the activity. The more you sell, the more you sell. The more activity we get, the more the algorithm sees us having that activity and sees our store as desirable. Because the algorithm doesn't understand why you suddenly have this increase in sales. The algorithm doesn't understand, oh, Star knocked all her poop t-shirts down to $7. She's got undesirable t-shirts that she had to sell for $7. No, the algorithm is like, oh my goodness, the Hippo Hut is suddenly selling 5 to 10 t-shirts a day. They must have items that people really want. They must have a desirable store. So then you'll notice your higher end items will start selling more. So once we started doing this about 2 to 3 weeks ago, and it's on all the platforms because I'm marking the prices down everywhere. The $7 stuff, the $12 jeans, they're all really starting to sell on all the platforms. But because of all of that activity everywhere, Posh, Mark McCarty, eBay, they're all picking up. So for every 2 of the pieces of poop that I get rid of and break even on, I sell a $40 pair of jeans. I sell a $35 pair of jeans. I sell a $60 remote. And so it just feeds into each other. All of that activity just really, really helps out. All right. So that's your choices. Donate it. Clearance it out. Don't clearance it so low that you're losing money. You don't want to lose money or pay people to take your stuff. Make sure you're making back at least what you paid for your cost of goods, okay? So we're going to draw a winner. Who's going to get 1 free month of List Perfectly? Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. That's like Jaws. Da-da-da-da. T-Cat wins 1 free month. That's 30 days of List Perfectly. And just in this show, you have seen all of the valuable reasons to use it. Like this. So if you have a buyer that doesn't pay for an item on eBay or you have a return, you've got all your listings still in List Perfectly to push back out. I can't express enough what List Perfectly has done for us. Plus, it's a great community. The List Perfectly community of resellers and the people that run the show, they're resellers. It's just an amazing. The best thing I think that ever happened to me was when I walked in to a meetup in 2019 at eBay Open and met Amanda and Clara. Anyway, congratulations, T-Cat. Please send me a private message on either Instagram or Facebook or an email, hippohutteam@gmail.com. And give me your email address, and I will get you in contact with List Perfectly and get you your free month. Hey, Red Dirt, I'm just wrapping up. Thanks for stopping in. So if you're already a user of List Perfectly and you want to upgrade to try Pro or you're not using it, 30% off your first month of Flippin' Hippos. Come to my Friday shows. I give away a free month every Friday. And you guys, this weekend, look at your stores. Run some sales, get rid of some poop, but don't race to the bottom, okay? Go be productive. Take time off for yourself this weekend. It is so important to have work-life balance. Do something fun for yourself. Be productive, all that good stuff. Thank you so, so much for joining me today here live. If you ever have any more questions, comments, concerns about reselling List Perfectly, anything in general, comment section, join our Facebook group. I answer everybody. If you're watching the replay, thanks for watching. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you so much, you guys. I don't really think you guys understand how much I appreciate you. I wouldn't be here talking if it wasn't for all of you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Love you guys. Bye. Bye.